inflation, right? Let's say long-term inflation is hedged against gold. In India, it's
No,
close
I'll
to
buy
9%.
gold. There's no doubt about
Right.
it. I'm convinced that I should buy gold.
Yeah.
I'm not disputing that. But why should I buy ETF? मैं ETF क्यों लूँ? मैं gold क्यों नहीं लूँ? और वो भी जब मैं एकदम प्रॉपर वो आपके क्या होलोग्राम के साथ जो होता है एकदम ऑथेंटिकेटेड गोल्ड विद रेस्पेक्टेड रेपुटेड डीलर्स जो कि प्योर है तो फिर मुझे क्यों आपको ज़्यादा फीस देनी है?
Well, see, the only reason why you would invest in electronic gold is for ease of trade, first, right? So let's say you have a portfolio and you have an allocation to gold. The best way to hold that allocation to gold is via an electronic form. I'm not just saying ETF. You could get into, whatever electronic form that you want to, depending on your comfort with it. कि आप या futures लें या कोई अगर gold options लें या ETFs लें or anything in that line, well, notwithstanding, promissory notes and warrants and those kind of things aside, because there's a counterparty risk, right? So you would buy that if you have an allocation.
Can you do something? मैं आपको एक सजेशन देता हूँ आपके ETF पॉपुलर करने के लिए आप एग्री करते हैं या नहीं? सिंपल है, अगर आप हर साल मुझे ETF के लिए फ़ी चार्ज करेंगे तो मैं आपका ETF नहीं खरीदने वाला हूँ. आप वन टाइम फ़ी चार्ज कर लीजिए जब मैं आपका ETF फ़ी बाय कर रहा हूँ. सेकेंड टाइम इफ़ आई कम टू यू एंड रिडीम माई ETF विद गोल्ड आप फी चार्ज करिए आपको वहाँ, लेकिन आप सिर्फ मेंटेनेंस के लिए हर साल फीस लेंगे तो मैं तो नहीं देने वाला.
So I'll tell you, I'll give you an example, and probably going to be very unpopular with some people in the audience. We've had a scenario where there was a scheme available where there were no charges, right? The e-gold and so on.
Right.
Right. It ended badly because you do need to pay a price for ensuring the security of your asset.
Okay.
There is no such thing as a free lunch. It is not going to happen, right? मैं आपको जाके बोलूँ कि आप मुझे 10 लाख रुपया दे दीजिए, मैं उसमें उसका एक सोना खरीद के अपनी तिजोरी में रखूँगा आपके नाम पे, and I will not charge you anything.
Right.
It's not going to lie idle. I'm going to lend it out. Then there is going to be a counterparty risk at my end, and that's going to be a problem. What you are paying for at the end of the day, the management fee तो कुछ नहीं है, because you're not managing. You're simply buying and storing gold.
Right.
It's simply the cost of storage and the insurance. If you were to do it yourself, the exact same thing.
So you mean to say you will be charging less than what I need to pay locker fee actually?
Exactly.
Okay.
But you still pay. Bhargav, you want to add to this?
I like to take a little bit on this because we were involved in the first gold ETF in the world, and at that time we had suggested a structure which was slightly different also. Before the pure gold storage scheme, we had proposed that the gold ETF would be basically a unit of the gold deposit schemes. So the interest earning from the gold deposit will offset the management fees. And since the gold would be deployed, there will be no storage cost. At present, the maximum profit who makes out of this particular scheme is our friend Rajan. Rajan, you are there? And I think his fees will be much lower than that. But yes, at the same time, it is very important for us to be transparent with our investors, saying that if you give me 100 grams of worth of gold money just now, after 10 years, it will be something like 90. So if you're doing it, you should know this. I want to be transparent. After doing that, if anybody gives me money, it's fair. But when we felt that that's not let us reduce, so let us encourage investment into gold deposit scheme. It was discussed with SEBI in a joint meeting along with SEBI, RBI, and Ministry of Economic Affairs. Unfortunately, in their view, at that time, they felt, no, let's not do it in this format.
A lot of other things were also discussed, Bhargav. Why they were going to use those ETF gold also into other schemes.
At present, you cannot change the scheme. The scheme should remain.
Yeah.
Manisha, can I come in?
Surely, for sure.
Yeah. So I think two things. First, you mentioned about the drop in the gold prices and the impact on the jewelry industry. So I think it's all depends on how we look at it. What is the jewelry business? They should make money from the making charges. So if that is the business model, I think the price fluctuation does not vary. It does not make any difference to the bottom line. But for the last 10 years, since it was a bull run for the gold, the appreciation of the gold was also added to the business, to the profit. But the smart businesses like Titan, according to me, they don't work like this. They have all their gold hedged. They look at, I have to make per gram X amount of money, 200 rupees of money, come what may. And in that, this is my overhead, 100 rupees overhead, and I need to take 100 rupees profit. So that is something jewelry industry need to think, what business are they into? Are they into selling as a retail business, or are they getting indirectly into an investor? And the second component is the investor component. I think because of the drop in gold prices, we see a lot of kind of hesitation from the investors. On the contrary, a lot of investment demand has come down, has dried up, and that is likely to be because of the fall in the gold prices. So this is the two components I wanted to distinguish what is happening in the market. Coming to the ETF, I think in principle, ETF is a wonderful idea for an investor. Suppose I'm an investor, I have to buy every month 10 grams of gold. Imagine if I have to go out to a jeweler searching 10 grams, all the hassles around it. I will never be able to do it. But if I've given my ECS instructions every month for next 5 years, keep giving me the credit of 10 grams, 20 grams, I have a daughter to be married, or I have a certain goal in my financial investment, it's a great product. And how do they reach out? I think a lot of people in India, as Modi ji recently said, didn't have a bank account. So ETF is far, far away to penetrate and reach out.
लेकिन सर
So these are the
हिंदुस्तान
challenges.
गोल्ड के बिजनेस में जितनी मंदी है, अगर आप किसी ज्वेलर को भी बोलेंगे तो वो हर महीने आपके यहाँ जितना गोल्ड बोलोगे लाके देके जाएगा और पैसे लेके जाएगा, होम डिलीवरी होगी।
अभी
इसमें
तक तो
कोई
नहीं
डाउट
है,
नहीं
जो मेरी
अभी
नॉलेज
तक
में
नहीं है, no, we haven't got that.
यही सवाल मैं चंदू भाई आपसे लेना चाहता हूँ। तेजी के वक्त तो बिजनेस करना बड़ा आसान है, यहाँ पे इतने सारे ज्वेलर्स बैठे हैं। आप ये बताइए कि जब गोल्ड के दाम कंटिन्यूसली नीचे गिर रहे हों और कहीं बढ़ने की उम्मीद नहीं दिखती हो, एक शायद यहाँ पे कोई होगा जो गोल्ड में तेजी में होगा इस वक्त, तो ऐसे में जो छोटे ज्वेलर्स हैं वो अपने बिजनेस को कैसे प्रोटेक्ट करें?
आजकल जो ज्वेलर्स हैं वो गोल्ड से ज़्यादा डायमंड ज्वेलरी को देख रहे हैं, बिकॉज वहाँ पर मार्जिन ज़्यादा है। रहा सवाल, I'll address your question once I add a little bit there to the ETF. You see, ETF is good for investment, as he rightly said, and if you want to hold a certain portfolio of yours into investment account in gold. But I, as a jeweler, say gold, physical gold is much better because you hold it and it makes your wife happy.
Absolutely.
You see, so I would rather see that gold on her neck rather than in a bank with a certificate.
But I want to come into that. You know, the other thing that we had been discussing, Anil, was कि ये जो gold schemes चलते थे, जहाँ पे 11 महीने आप पैसे देते थे and 12th month jeweler देता था या फिर the big company देती थी, वो भी अब government ने change कर दिया है. It has been called public deposit now. Satish ji, this question is to you. कितना difference उसकी वजह से market में आया? Because of course import curbs वैसे ही आ गए हैं. Prices में मंदी आ गई है, festival season है. This was a good scheme that was going on.
I don't have much knowledge on the deposit scheme, but on ETF I would like to add something. See, ETFs were conceptualized and made popular in Europe and USA, where people have so much of security risk. Here in India, we don't consider it a risk to keep gold in our home. People are happy to keep physical gold. And you compare this ETF with the e-gold. It's not a right comparison, because the comparison is to be made between ETF and physical gold. People are comfortable keeping physical gold at home without any sense of risk. So I feel that still the people would like to keep physical gold as compared to ETF. They don't have to pay charges, and even 1% is quite a substantial amount if one is to pay on year-on-year basis. I don't have much knowledge on the deposits, so I won't be able to comment, Manish ji.
That is okay, Satish ji, but that is a very proven point कि हम सबको gold खरीदना ही है, हमें ETF में या paper gold में, financialization में, monetization में जाना ही नहीं है. I think that is something that's really lacking into the Indian markets there. Anil, you want to add?
I agree with you, but I have knowledge only on the physical gold. I won't be able to.
No, on
comment.
deposit scheme, one thing is very clear. See, अगर आप गोल्ड को एक कंज्यूमर प्रोडक्ट के तौर पर ज्वेलरी के लिए आप ये स्कीम्स दे रहे हैं, अगर ज्वेलर्स दे रहे हैं, तो आई डोंट थिंक कि गवर्नमेंट को उसको बैन करना चाहिए. लेकिन अगर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए कह रहे हैं कि स्कीम्स चलाकर आप इन्वेस्टमेंट करें, तो माई व्यू इज़ डिफरेंट, बिकॉज आई लुक आफ्टर स्टॉक मार्केट्स रिलेटेड थिंग्स, एंड सो माई सेंस इज यू शुड नॉट बोरो एंड इन्वेस्ट. तो आपके पास जितना पैसा है उतना ही पैसा लगाइए. इन्वेस्टमेंट करने के लिए वो ठीक है, लेकिन अगर आप ज्वेलरी खरीदने के लिए कोई स्कीम बनाकर दे रहे हैं तो वो बैन नहीं होनी चाहिए. अगर वैसा है तो फिर आप मोबाइल खरीदने के लिए भी 0% डाउन स्कीम मत बनाइए, वाइट गुड्स के लिए मत बनाइए. एग्जैक्टली.
So Bhargav, you want to add on that? You want to add on, Chandu bhai?
Yeah, actually, you see, I think कहीं भी अगर ज्वेलरी बाय कर रही है लेडी कोई एंड उनके घर में आज इतने पैसे नहीं है कि वो एक पूरा सेट खरीद पाए, और अगर कोई अच्छा ज्वेलर है जो उसके ट्रस्टेड हो और वो लेना चाहते हो कि भाई हम हर महीने आपको कुछ डिपॉजिट करें, आई थिंक इट शुड बी एनकरेज बिकॉज इट इज़ अ वेरी बिग वे ऑफ सेविंग. अगर वो सेविंग नहीं होगी तो वो पैसा कहीं ना कहीं खर्चा हो जाएगा बिकॉज दैट लेडी कैन नॉट बाय दैट सेट टुडे. Having said that, the government, I think, came out with this ban because of certain other funds which were in trouble. So I believe that is the reason they came up.
It was being called a futures trade. It was being called as a public deposit and those kind of things. So they have changed norms. They haven't banned it. But the point is the jewelers are yet not ready with it. But the whole thing is, did it need to be banned?
I think if there is a good regulation and a good procedure formed, it should be encouraged according to me. Because it does not cost anybody any money and it is an indirect form of saving. Now, there might be a talk which will say that this is a dead investment. Fine, it is a dead investment, but it is not an expense. It's an investment still. So I would definitely say that it should be encouraged.
Just to tell you about the schemes, I believe 20,000 crore is riding in India on this monthly schemes as per the data. But again, this government rule is very tricky. It covers limited companies and private limited companies and leaves away proprietorship and partnership firms. And secondly, see, if you look at, on the contrary, any other asset class purchase, whether it is a real estate or an automobile, imagine real estate without even EMI. Here, at least the jewelry industry is giving, the customer is giving money upfront. On the contrary, if you want to buy a house worth 1 crore, nobody will buy upfront. They will go for a loan. So instead of actually money coming from outside to encourage this industry, the government is also stopping this. For whatever reason, they can do some regulation. There must be some default in other industries, but I don't think anybody in jewelry industry has defaulted in maturing these saving schemes. And it's a very small value. So this is something very, very kind of a disturbing and discouraging for this industry, and it is going to have an impact on a long term.
Yeah. I think I'd like to add that everybody is covered under acceptance of deposit rules. Proprietary and partnerships are out. But let's look at the positive side. I'll just take a clue from what Singh Saab said in the morning, that Companies Act was up for comment for almost 6 months. The real estate industry did represent that if delivery is beyond 1 year, we will still not qualify as a deposit scheme and we can continue. I think this is the forum why we are meeting through both of you, and maybe if there are some concrete suggestions from the audience, we can represent that the gold buying scheme over installment should be excluded the way the real estate delivery is excluded. I think Ketan, as the Secretary of the Institute, you and Surendra Bhai can note of it, if both the moderator and the co-moderator suggest. And that's the intention of the conference, that at the end of it, let's go home with some positive. If everybody feels it is good for the trade, it is not going to harm anybody, let's make a concrete suggestion, this should be done. And let's take a leave from Mr. Singh's lecture today morning, that when that draft was up for comment, everybody, including me, did not comment on it. Okay, no, this should be changed.
So banning the schemes is not a solution. Regularizing them is a better option, right?
We should be allowed to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So there's,
Sir, please come up. Yes, sir.
Actually, what happened? Companies Act has been amended from last year, and this scheme as such has not been banned. It is basically, as it has been rightly said, that it is more of an investment scheme, and out of the own money, they'll buy something. Actually, as per the new Companies Act, the definition of public deposit has changed, and that change has taken place because in the name of public deposits, certain problems came like Sahara, a lot of green investments, green money, people will buy certain units, and they will, some trees will grow after 20 years, then suddenly a lot of profit will come. Due to the massive fraud in plantation scheme, other schemes, because of that experience, government has changed the definition of public deposit in the Companies Act. And Companies Act are applicable only to the public limited and private limited. Partnership firm, individual firms are not covered. That is the reason. Yes. Yes, the suggestion of change is very important. And as it has been rightly
Mr.
pointed
Singh,
out.
as you are on the panel now and there are so many suggestions coming, आपको problems भी पता चल गई हैं, and you as a policy maker are here. Let's just start putting it together then.
Definitely. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, what do you want from the industry then to put
See,
this across?
as far as this industry, because it has to be impressed upon the policy maker, administrator, that it is more of an investment and it requires amendment to the Companies Act. And all of us as a body, because see, gold consumption, buying jewelry, this is perfectly legitimate exercise. There is nothing wrong in it. Unless the definition changed and either some exclusion clause is added, this problem will remain. What I request as a body, as a premier body of bullion and jewelry, one has to make suggestion for the amendment of the company law to exclude in from that definition. And this suggestion has to come from the association itself.
Absolutely. और
Government will definitely consider it.
खुद भार्गव वैद्य साहब सी हैं, सुरेंद्र मेहता साहब सी हैं, आप तो
Som is here, Rajan is here, there are so many people here and they are putting, Som is here.
और ऑल ऑफ सडन ये हो गया कि पैनलिस्ट बदल गए और एंकर्स एक साथ बहुत सारे हो गए हैं। सिंह साहब पैनलिस्ट हो गए, हम 4 एंकर हो गए, लेकिन
Just I wanted to clarify that this situation arose due to the change in definition, that's all.
But Mr. Singh, this is something that has always been said. The industry, the associations always say कि जब भी government कोई नया rule लेके आती है, चाहे वो 80-20 हो, चाहे वो import curbs हो, या फिर वो ETF वाली चीजें हो, कभी भी कुछ incorporate नहीं होता है. The industry always says that we are left out of this. I mean, you can't say कि association has to come out with a suggestion. They already are talking about that.
See, these are the consequences we are facing after enactment. If it should have been properly defined when it was meant for the public discussion, and at that time perhaps nobody realized also that it is going to have such a serious impact on even the deposit, which is basically investment in nature. There is a difference between deposit and investment. Maybe because the definition of the company law is such a way, it is definitely a vague. What I see that there has to be concerted application of mind from the administrator point of view, and it has to be taken up by the industry association that please exclude it from the definition. You modify, you amend your law. And Companies Act, in fact, it is already going to be amended very soon on so many other aspects also.
We will really wait for that because we've seen the associations do dharnas and shutdowns and stuff like that.
Yes, and the problem is that one has to, Vaidya Sahib is the best person, he is handling the legal law firm. If he makes out in a real, proper manner before even the, say, Department of Corporate Affairs, that the Act requires amendment and investment has to be treated separate from the definition of the public deposit. Once that is understood and not withstanding clause is added to the definition, it will be addressed.
We will take your word for that.
On the contrary, if there is let us say, jeweler want to give jewelry on an EMI, he's saying forget deposits. Even that government is not allowing. Jeweler says that I am giving you this jewelry 1 lakh rupees, give me 10,000 rupees in 10 months. Government says, sorry, you can't do it. Why is that?
I'm not very updated with this particular answer, but I believe because it is also coming out of the offshoot of the same problem.
Maybe, at that time they documented the reason that to reduce consumption, we are doing this. Anyway, in their own way, they are reduced consumption. There are more intelligent people in RBI than all of us put together who understand more.
Right. So while, yes.
Sorry. See, company laws, in fact, since we are also handling a lot of changes, company law has been changed. Earlier law was 1956, now it has been, new law has come. And government is already having experience of operation from last 1 year. And there are number of amendments that have been removed, number of amendments in number of areas. So what I request that all of you, through some good legal team, make a concerted representation. Once that is made, it will be carried out. Otherwise, it will again be part of the problem, and unless the definition is changed, this problem cannot be sorted out.
Okay.
So as was promised, we will not stretch this discussion too much. That brings us to our last point, is about dumped gold in India. As per the reports, 25,000 tons of gold is in Indian households. Mr. Bansal, this is to you. Everyone says 25,000. We are taking it as an unofficial, official figure, whatever. All this while, all these years, we have been talking about monetization, financialization, कि कैसे वो gold बाहर लेके आएं. बहुत सारी schemes चली हैं पिछले 10 साल में. Bhargav bhai, of course, and we have been talking about all those things. क्यों नहीं चलती हैं? अगर this is like again ETF versus physical gold. This is again कि मैं अगर अपना gold किसी बैंक को देती हूँ, bullion banks की भी हमने यहाँ पे बात करी है. वो गोल्ड मुझे वापस मिलेगा या मुझे उसके कैसे रिटर्न्स मिलेंगे? समथिंग दैट
अगर आप कोई एक बढ़िया अच्छा दमदार सजेशन देंगे इस पे, तो सिंह साहब के बिहाफ पे मैं आपको कॉन्फिडेंस दे सकता हूँ कि गवर्नमेंट के सारे रेस्ट्रिक्शंस वो हटा लेंगे. अगर गोल्ड प्रोडक्टिव हो गया और आ गया बाहर, तो दिक्कत थोड़ी है फिर.
सवेरे चंदू भाई ने कहा था सवेरे एंड आई एग्री विद हिम, फॉर दिस काइंड ऑफ गोल्ड टू कम आउट फ्रॉम द हाउस होल्ड, आई थिंक वी नीड अ VDIS. You like it or you don't like it. We need a VDIS because most of this gold
मेरे पास है नहीं, होता तो मैं वो
Bhargav is saying no.
बंसल जी, एक मैं actually now I feel very familiar and part of this family. Actually, most of the VDIS scheme, one of the reason ये पूरी 100% successful नहीं होती है is lack of trust. The person who are declaring, they feel at some point of time, somebody sitting in the administrative corridors of power, they will open, they may not open particular transaction, but they will definitely take lead out of it and start some separate parallel investigation. So this lack of commitment, this lack of trust in the government schemes is the main reason. Otherwise, people, everybody wants transparency, everybody wants to, count their valuables. If they have 1 kilo of gold, they want to know the value, and if the same value was say 10,000 sometime back, and after 10 years it has become 30,000, it's a matter of happiness, and everybody is willing to do. It is because the VDIA scheme, there is a problem of trust. And this is the fact, that it happens. Even there was last year, there was a service tax disclosure scheme. So a lot of agencies, it's very unprofessional from the government point of view. A lot of people make the declarations. So some other agencies, for instance, that they have made declaration to the customs department, service tax department, but income tax has started certain investigation. So everybody is very scared. There are so many agencies. If they are truthful to one agency, they feel that it is going to cost somewhere else.
There may be 10 agencies, but this is one government. We are talking of the government.
So
what I'm saying is our experience in the last so many years. We have imported so much of gold. Most of the gold has been sold in cash. It's a fact. The gold that has been bought by every household is most of this, maybe 60, 70, 80% of this is in cash. Why would people come out and put the gold in any deposit scheme? And the government will again ask the question, where has this gold come from?
So what percentage of gold is consumed by agriculturists in rural India?
No, there is, can I butt in here 1 minute, please? Yeah? No. You see, I am a jeweler based in Dubai, but I am an Indian and I can understand the Indian psyche very well. I believe the basic reason for failure of all these policies of the government to bring in the unearthed gold is two. One, you see, we have to identify what type of gold is there. Whatever gold is in the bullion form, 90% of that will be unaccounted for. And whatever is in the jewelry form, it is very difficult to bring out because of our cultural affinity. A woman would die rather than give her gold. You see, that is a secret, that is her, I would security, and that is inbuilt. You see, I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about you, because you are a very modern, educated lady. But think of ladies who have, say, only 4 bangles or 10 bangles or 15 bangles. Now this 25,000 tons.
Chandubhai, if you tell me, if you can assure me, if you can give me that credibility that those 4 bangles will stay with you, can give me a return later on, if there is transparency that I can get the same carat back, I'm sure a lot of people would want to come
But
out and do that.
it is very difficult, because if I am a bank, I am a government, I am anybody, and I'm taking your 4 bangles, what do I do with those bangles? I have to melt them to convert it into currency. And I cannot return your original gold. I have to return to you bullion at a later date whenever you need it. So you see, this will be amounting to having a saving scheme with the government, but it cannot be in the form of your own jewelry.
Sir, two questions. One is that what portion of the gold is sold in rural areas? And I think let's make sure audience is not sleeping. If somebody from Chandukaka Saraf or Saurabh is here, I'll ask, how much of percentage of the sale is in Wadi? You know, Wadi is that 1 or 2 grams of gold which is sold every month, every year, as collection for a jewelry to be connected in future. At least that can come in the deposit scheme. That can, they were giving the same jewelers till the scheme banned it, because it was banned under acceptance of deposit scheme. Chandukaka Saraf, PN Kargil, Rajman Rakichan, all of them who run the deposit scheme had to close it because they got too much of gold. What we want, that if they get extra gold, they can pass it on to the bank.
Open up the scheme, but unless and until you convince the temples to give their gold, which you're not giving them gold away, just not giving as a charity. Though Mr. Kothari is very much against that, and I will repeat what I had told him last year, that in one of the movies, years back when we, at least I was young and some of us were very young, called Johnny Mera Naam, Premnath makes a statement to Hema Malini. He said, आप में भी भगवान है, मेरे में भी भगवान है, वो इस मूर्ति में भी भगवान है. अब ये सोना ये मूर्ति के पास रहे या मेरे पास रहे, आखिर भगवान के पास ही है. So unless and until, and I would request the World Gold Council that unless and until you can convince the temples to part with the gold, then you can go out and tell everybody. Otherwise, everybody is saying that temples, which is it's not even their own property, are not parting with the gold. How else anybody else will?
I agree with but that's just a small amount of what they have. Chirag wants to say something, please. Chandubhai, you wanted to add to it?
Yeah, I actually, coming from what Mr. Samsundaram said, maybe it might be a good idea to have a public and a bank and a jewelry partnership to collect this gold. Because you see, for a person in the rural areas, they might not have a bank account, or they might not trust a banker, but they have a jeweler in that area who they will trust. So what they could do is they could go to the jeweler and pledge the gold with him. He would bring it to the bank, and the jeweler then can test the purity of the gold also, because in all probability the banker may not know what is the gold, or they may not be qualified to understand what is the gold. So I believe that if the government actually wants to do it, then they have to make a regulation or a form, some way in which the jewelers and the bankers together can work on the scheme. Then I think there is a good scope of a very big success.
It needs to flow from the lower level to the higher level.
It has to, because you see, a banker, with all due respects to the bankers, when they can release guarantees and everything, I'm sure the gold, if I give them copper plated with gold or brass plated with gold, they might not understand. And in fact, there have been incidences where kilobars of PAMP itself were faked in the international world. So, if that can be done, then the bankers can easily be taken for a ride. So, I would say the jewelers should be definitely involved in this whole process.
Yeah, Chirag.
Couple of points, First one, if we want to really take monetization ahead, I think what we need to create is a leasing market where you introduce, jewelers to the leasing market, more smaller participants, and we allow even the household to go to the jeweler, lease the gold out, and create an ecosystem of sort. Unless until we do not have that kind of system, we may not really see gold coming out. So you could even kind of lease out 10 grams of gold. I think if you look at monetization scheme, we always talk about 50 grams, 100 grams. But as one of the panelists pointed out, that maybe we do not have that kind of per capita gold consumption. So you create a smaller leasing market where anybody could just go to the market. Also with regards to ETF, I think there's somebody spoke about physical gold. At the end of it, we buy that gold, keep into our lockers, so we don't have that feel towards gold as such. I think what really should work in ETF is that I buy a ETF, but at the end of the tenure, let's say I hold this ETF for 2 years' time, you give me an option of taking gold back from the ETF provider. I think unless and until that does not happen, we may not, kind of create a, far-reaching impact. So, most of the ETF guys should do something like that.
Right.
I already have that option.
Yeah. Bhargav, one question I have for you here. जो गोल्ड टेम्पल से बाहर निकालने की बात हो रही है, या फिर जो हाउस होल्ड के पास है लीज आउट कर दो ज्वेलर्स को, उसके सामने पैसा ले लो, डोंट यू थिंक यू रिक्वायर अ लॉट ऑफ पॉलिटिकल विल फॉर दैट? इन इंडिया इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. मतलब भगवान के मंदिर में से आप सोना निकाल रहे हो. This is the first reaction anyone has actually, and people are just mad about religion and all those things. Secondly, if government says okay, you go to a jeweler and वहाँ उसके आप गोल्ड के सामने लोन ले लो, उसने गोल्ड के सामने लोन लिया और वो पैसा उड़ा दिया, again there would be a lot of angst again in the household. So I want to know your opinion. Isn't it equally difficult like taxing agriculture income in India?
No, it is much easier, and I'll tell you the reason why. हम लोग जब भी एक चढ़ावा करते हैं मंदिर को, मैं जाके एक छत्र चढ़ाऊंगा, वो सिंबॉलिक एक छोटा होगा, कोठारी जी जाए तो अलग चीज़ है. तो वो कभी यूज़ नहीं होने वाला डेटी पे, एक्सेप्ट कि हमने जब भी चढ़ाया तभी वो चढ़ा. अभी इतने टेम्पल्स और ट्रस्ट है, हम लोग सभी किसी के ट्रस्टी होंगे, वी आर मोर वरिड कि ये चीज़ सेफ रहेगी या चोरी हो जाएगी. उसके बदले बैंक एक्सेप्ट कर ले तो सेफ हो जाएगा. टाइम बहुत कम है, मुझे भी पता है, 10 मिनट. तो पहले ये जो तिरुपति टेम्पल का भी कहा गया था, फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम दैट ट्रस्टीज वर बैंकिंग विद SBI, प्लीज एक्सेप्ट द डिपॉजिट, बट वो नहीं कर सकते थे बिकॉज ऑफ इनहेरेंट फ्लॉ ऑफ इट. उसके लिए हम पूरा सेशन करेंगे या आपको भी करेंगे, 1-2 प्रोग्राम करें तो उसका एक अच्छा इमेज बिल्ड हो जाएगा. एंड इट इज़ मच ईजियर. जब हमने 15 साल पहले सेमिनार कहा था कि गोल्ड लीगली इंपोर्ट करो, वी वर कॉल्ड द बिगर फूल्स. एंड आज भूल जाइए, 2 साल पहले आप बात करें तो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल गोल्ड कमिंग टू इंडिया वॉज कमिंग थ्रू ऑफिशियल चैनल. सो उतना डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. वी टेक टाइम, एडवर्टाइज फ्रॉम वी कम ऑन द राइट ट्रैक टोटली वंस वी कम.
All right.
So,
Before
I would just like to share one important thing with you about the monetization of gold. Last year, मैं हमारे प्रेसिडेंट मिस्टर मोहित कंबोज और हमारे डायरेक्टर मिस्टर मुकेश मेहता, हम मोदी जी से पर्सनली मिले थे मोनेटाइजेशन ऑफ गोल्ड को लेकर. उन्होंने हमें 50 मिनट का वक्त दिया था और 50 मिनट तक हमने सिर्फ मोनेटाइजेशन के बारे में डिस्कस किया था. उसमें उन्होंने एक चीज़ जो हमको बोली, वो शायद हम लोग भूल रहे हैं यहाँ पर. उन्होंने कहा था कि इसमें आप पॉपुलेशन को 2 पार्ट में डिवाइड कर दीजिए, एक अर्बन पॉपुलेशन है, एक रूरल पॉपुलेशन है. अर्बन पॉपुलेशन में जैसे कोठारी जी ने बता रहे हैं 30% गोल्ड अवेलेबल है, रूरल पॉपुलेशन में 70% गोल्ड अवेलेबल है. उनका ये कहना था कि इट्स अ सोशल इश्यू, इसको आप रुपए से मत तोलिए, करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट से मत तोलिए. आप ये समझिए एक रूरल एरिया में औरत सोना अपने पास रख सकती है, उसको हम स्त्री धन कहते हैं जो हमारे कल्चर से चला रहा है. द मोमेंट इट इज़ कन्वर्टेड इनटू अ करेंसी, उसके जो भी घर में रहने वाले पुरुष हैं, आदमी हैं, उसके पति हैं, उसके भाई हैं, उसके पिताजी हैं, वो उसको मारते हैं, उस औरत को मारते हैं लिटरली, और पैसा लेके लिकर में या दूसरी अलग चीज़ों में पैसे को उड़ा देते हैं. सो ही सेज इट्स अ सोशल इश्यू. इस सोशल इश्यू को टैकल करने के लिए कौन सी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी पॉलिटिकल विल लेगी? सो आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शेयर विथ यू कि इट इज़ नॉट अ इजी सब्जेक्ट कि भाई ये हो जाना चाहिए, ये हो ही नहीं सकता. इस कंट्री में कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी ऐसा कर ही नहीं पाएगी कि औरतों को नाराज कर दे. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू शेयर विथ यू.
Thank you.
पॉलिटिकल पार्टी छोड़िए,
छोड़िए,
अपने घर में भी कोई हिम्मत नहीं कर सकता.
So I think before we wrap this panel, I'll call
Manisha.
D'Souza on air.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. We are talking about existing holding of gold. Why aren't we talking about the new investment in gold? Out of the 850 tons of gold consumed, imports consumed, about 300 is investment. That investment can easily go into this product. So it requires simplification. It requires the jewelers and the bullion dealers to get involved. in a very simple way of getting that investment gold going into the account, which can be lent to the jewelers. It is doable. You don't have to get into the emotions of people. It can start from day one.
Absolutely, that's a brilliant suggestion again. And we have had so many suggestions on this panel today from the audience and from the panelists as well. I hope the government is listening and we can soon do something about that.
Hello.
But before we wrap it,
I would like to support आदरणीय श्रीमान हमारे एक्स प्रेसिडेंट पृथ्वीराज जी सा कोठारी के भगवान को हम चढ़ाते हैं और वापस यू टर्न करके भगवान से ही अपन ले लेते हैं, तो फिर चढ़ाए ही काहे को? भगवान को बनाया, दुनिया को तो बना रहे हो आप, लेकिन भगवान को भी नहीं छोड़ा बनाने में।
नहीं, लेकिन भगवान को चढ़ाया ही नहीं जाता है कि आपको अगर 1 किलो चढ़ा रहा हूँ तो 10 किलो वापस दीजिएगा।
I will never support till last moment of life कि भगवान का कम से कम सब जगह घोटाले किए, भगवान के साथ तो घोटाले मत करिए आप प्लीज।
So you got the answer. Like in India, you need a very, very strong political will to, get out.
आप अपने घर से नहीं निकाल सकते, आप
मंदिर से कहाँ निकालेंगे? It is as simple as that.
But I would want to call upon Mr. Hugo de Souza because we are launching a report here before we end this panel. Hanji Kothari ji, till then I think we can.
आप लोग अभी जब करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट का बहुत सा चल रहा था तो हम लोग श्रीमान अमिताभ बच्चन जी से मिलने गए थे। हमने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि जैसा गुजरात डेवलपमेंट आपने करने में इतना योगदान दिया, जैसा हमारे साथ में अभी आप लोगों से अपील कीजिए कि आपके पास जो अनयूज गोल्ड पड़ा है उसको आप डिपॉजिट कीजिए एज ए एम्बेसडर ऑफ ए गोल्ड डिपॉजिट स्कीम। तब उन्होंने कहा कि मैं कर नहीं सकता हूँ क्योंकि अगेंस्ट हो रहा था। अब अगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने जैसे जन धन योजना अनाउंस की, उसमें 5 करोड़ के प्लस अकाउंट ओपन हो गए, अगर प्राइम मिनिस्टर और अमिताभ बच्चन जी रिक्वेस्ट गवर्नमेंट से करें तो मैं नहीं समझता हूँ कि गोल्ड लोग डिपॉजिट नहीं करेंगे।
That's a good one.
Excellent suggestion.
So that's what I said. We have had some excellent suggestions here. So there's a report launch that is supposed to happen right now. Can we do it right away before we end the panel here?